I started some Gara, some ornamental oregano from seeds, and I also took some lavender cuttings. Let's see how they're doing. This back here is my experiment area. Here I have a denim and lace Russian sage, which needs to be planted out desperately. It finished flowering, so I did cut the blooms back. This area back here is part shade. It only gets a few hours of early morning sun, and then the rest of the day it's shaded. I know this plant loves full sun, so I'm gonna have to transplant it pretty soon rather than later. I have it in a terracotta pot just to help with drainage. Here I have a ton of Gara. I definitely started more than I needed to. I started these from seeds, I believe, back in April. I put them in little 2-inch pots, and once I saw that the seeds germinated or started growing and they were about 1 to 2 inches high, I transplanted them into bigger pots. They were about 3 to 4 inches big. And then after a month or so, I put them in here. This one actually has a flower stalk. I really want these to overwinter so badly. I'm in zone 7A, Northeastern Pennsylvania. I don't know if they will. If anyone has had luck with getting them to overwinter, let me know in the comments. But they're just so pretty. I really hope they make it through our winter. And then here I have this container of annuals. I have a dahlia here with yellow flowers, which I don't see any buds on it, so I don't know. Maybe it's not getting enough sun, but this plant here is a ageratum. I almost let it die. It dried out in its nursery pot. I brought it back to life. I cut it all the way back, and it flushed out with all this new growth, and it's about to flower. I have the same ones in that pot over there. These are not as far along as the other ones, but still a good amount of growth. Here I have a type of shade-loving, moisture-loving Japanese ornamental grass. I forget the name, but I'll put it on the screen. And I have it surrounded with these plants that I started from seed here. These are columbines, and they get really pretty flowers in the springtime. I think this columbine has different colors, the seeds that I picked to start. And I think they're starting to crowd out this pot, so I do need to definitely move them, but I kind of like the way this looks with the Japanese grass poking through the columbine here. I think that's really cool looking. This here is an ornamental onion. It's a allium serendipity, and it needs to be put in the ground desperately, so desperately. I've had it in this nursery pot since last year. This is an annual vine in my area, but I actually overwintered it and out here on my back patio, and miraculously it came back. Here in these two pots I have ornamental oregano that I started from seed. This is called the Origami Kent, I believe, and I think this is a perennial in my area. This one's a little further along. I don't know if this is a Gara that I accidentally sowed in this pot. I'm gonna let it grow a little bit more to see what it is. And then here is my very sad looking canna lily. It's not really doing much for me. I've been fertilizing it. I think these plants are just happier in the ground than they are in pots. So I'll try again next year. What I'll do is I will lift the bulb up from the container. I'll overwinter it inside, and then come next year, once all chance of frost has passed, I'll either put it in the ground, or actually I'll start it. I'll wake up the bulb from dormancy inside, and I'll post a video on how I do that in the future. And then surrounding it, I have cuttings that I took from different plants. So there's so many mosquitoes here, and I think I'm gonna get bit. These are lavender cuttings that I took. There's no wilting on the leaves, so that's promising. I think it's going well. And then these are cuttings that I took from my phlox plant here. So far so good.